So today we're going to the forest. We're in the Schwarzenberg forest near Vienna, and we're going to see what kind of mushrooms and wild edibles we can forage today. So let's have a little look. Let's not catch too much ticks, and let's reward ourselves with a good meal afterwards. Beautiful chanterelle, and this is a coral mushroom. Edible, not edible. All right, so here we have wood ear, or as it's commonly known as well, Judas ear. This is a little edible that grows throughout the summer and even throughout winter. What usually happens in the summer is that it dries out completely. Then, when it starts raining again or it gets moist, it will soak up and it will be just like this again. Here we have some fresh specimens. This mushroom is used in the wakame salads. Maybe you know that. The little black thingies in your wakame salad that you can buy in the supermarket. There's usually a mushroom like this. It's just its Asian brother. This is the European version, and we're gonna pick some right now. It has a funny name, Judas ear. It comes from Judas, of course, because he supposedly hanged himself on an elder tree. And this mushroom grows mainly on that elder wood as well, just like here. So here we have a native European herb. It's called woodruff. This plant has been used in history to spice wines in Germany and in Celtic regions with the little flowers and with the leaves. If you crush it a little bit, a special compound is being released, which is called coumarin. Has been proven as well to help against headaches. You do have to watch out with the dosage though, because too much coumarin could give you a headache again. It's the 1st of June, but we are still able to forage some of this lovely spring vegetable. This is the wild garlic. There is of course the myth that after it has blossomed, as you can see it's blossomed already here, some seed pods. The taste should be less prominent, but this is still pretty potent. So here we have a very common and very interesting and very potent herb. These are cleavers. You probably know them, probably consider them a weed. These plants have an extraordinary medicinal power. They contain a specific flavonoid which catches the free radicals in your blood. AKA, to say it simple, these ones help your kidneys and liver to clean and get all this toxins out of your body. Next to that, there are little flowers on this plant. They're gonna turn into little seed pods later on. The seed pods contain caffeine. Watch out for this little plant. Later in the summer, collect the seed pods. Just simply roast them in the oven and make your own wild European coffee. Just a sec. There's some of them. There are some bugs. They like them as well. So one way to directly use this herb is to just crush it a little bit and leave it in your water container. Ideally, you would do this in the evening and you would leave the cleavers to soak overnight. Like this, all the goodies will be extracted properly. This is gonna be so refreshing. We're going to enter a biosphere that is called the Urwald van Morgen here in Vienna. And that's in English the primeval forest of tomorrow. This is going to be a piece of forest that is not managed anymore. So that means the dead wood stays on the ground. Trees fall and simply decompose. This enriches the soil much more. It's a much more natural way of how a forest grows. You can see that, hopefully, because we're gonna find there a lot of mushrooms. These are called hoof mushrooms. Back in the days, they were kept in a tinderbox smoldering because the hoof mushrooms, they would smolder for days. The fire would be lighted with it always. You could count on that, even when it was raining. If you would keep them in a box, you would be able to make a fire. These mushrooms, people, before they were keeping them in a tinderbox, were usually tied between two sticks that you would just gather in your hand like that. And people would walk around with them smoldering and smoking. And like that, people basically always had their matches with them before there were matches. So wow. Which bolitas? So we found a nice cluster here and a cute little staircase. Cool. Right. Cooking is gonna be challenging right now. Rain just started pouring down on us, but there's nothing better than a good rain in the forest. Today, with the bountiful loot from the forest, all these beautiful mushrooms, we're gonna make a wild ragu. That's basically just the mushrooms baked outside with some onion, some wild garlic in a nice creamy sauce. Unfortunately, our porcini mushroom is full of bugs. In the end, two types of mushrooms in this ragu. Of course, the gold of the forest, the chanterelle, and our wood ear or Judas ear. Super funny consistency, and it's gonna give our ragu a little bit more bite. It's like we're putting little chunky pieces of bacon in it. The wood ear itself doesn't have a very prominent taste. It's a very mild taste, but the interesting thing about this mushroom is that when you heat it up or dry it out and then you start cooking with it, it will soak up the flavors and moist of the product that you're cooking. So what I'm gonna do is just sear these in the pan a little bit, and then we're gonna dress them with some white wine. So these mushrooms are like sponges. They will soak up all the good flavors that you're gonna give to your food. So we're gonna go to the kitchen. It's gonna add a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna do the onions and the chanterelles together because I want to give the chanterelles a nice good sear as well. Usually you can fry your onions first, but for this little wild ragu, I don't need them necessarily caramelized. The chanterelles having a little party in the pan. I really love these chanterelles. I call them the gold of the forest. They have a very nice, mild, but delicious flavor, a little bit buttery. A little bit of salt. A little bit of nutritional yeast. And white wine. So time to give it a taste. Bon appetit. We are amazing. That flavor is wild.